Here on the 51st edition of Mustang Magazine, we'll meet a special mascot for the girls' hockey team. We'll take a trip down to the popular Froggy skating pond, and we'll find out more about the new Homeroom Tuesday policy here at NHS. All this and more on the 51st edition of Mustang Magazine.
Hello, and welcome to the February edition of Mustang Magazine. I'm Calvin Meyer.
And I'm Allie Kelleher. Mustang Magazine is a show produced by advanced broadcast journalism students from Norwood High School. Our goal is to tell the stories from a school and community from a teen point of view.
We start off this month's show with some news from the athletic department. Recently, four-year varsity soccer player Megan Giambanco signed to play soccer at the next level. Junior staff reporters Jess Keller and Rose Campbell have the story.
Recently, senior Megan Giambanco signed her national letter of intent to play soccer for Stonehill College.
My whole family had gone there. I've been going to the campus since I was little, and then the coach and the team just seemed like such a good fit for me, so it was kind of an easy choice.
Giambanco was a two-year captain for the Norwood High girls varsity soccer team.
It really helped me with leadership and helping other kids, because when I was younger, older kids would help me, and I really looked up to them, so I wanted to do that for the kids at Norwood, and it helped me to work with other people a lot.
The NHS soccer team wasn't the only thing that helped her with her plans to play at Stonehill.
It's my coaches, my friends, my parents, everyone that's helped me along the way.
Giambanco gives advice to those looking to achieve their goals in sports.
It's really important that you work hard and focus in the off season. I know you don't want to always be doing it, but it really pays off when you focus and dedicate yourself to something.
Reporting for Mustang Magazine, I'm Jess Keller.
Go Skyhawks.
Thanks, girls, and good luck to Megan next year at Stonehill.
Next up, we stick to the sports theme with a story about a special mascot for the girls' hockey team. Hockey players Allie Nauman and Megan Quinn report.
Sally is the heart and soul of the team.
The story behind Sally started 8 or 9 years ago when I took on the head coaching job at Norwood. Since Mustang Sally is an old song from way back when, that's how Sally got her name as our mascot.
So Sally's always decked out with her Norwood choker necklace with the sparkles, and her anklets are all different colors because we wear, each class wears a different color bracelet during the season. We melt laces onto our wrists, and freshman is blue, sophomore is green, junior's pink, black is seniors. Sally has also an Instagram. It's called Adventures of Sally. Everyone should follow her. And Sally posts pictures of the places that she goes. Everyone just gets to show her off. When you get her, you get to be on the Instagram.
And after a win or sometimes a tie, we would give out Sally as a reward to that player of the game.
Going to someone that works hard every single practice. Coaches always notice it. That was a little plug for her. But more importantly, started off with a goal to start our game. Tina?
The next game, if we won and there was a player of the game, that player would pass it on to the next player.
And they get to bring her around school and literally wherever they go and show her off. And it just motivates everyone to play their best game all the time because everyone wants Sally. For all of our home games, we put her at center ice.
It kind of gets the other team wondering what that little horse would be doing out the middle of the ice before games.
She's just a reminder that everyone should be playing their best, and I think it really helps. It helps me personally because I always want Sally, and I hope everyone else does too.
Thanks, girls, and good luck to the team on their tournament run this season.
Athletics at NHS are a big part of students' lives, and next year schedules could all look a little different.
Norwood High School will be leaving the Bay State League after 60 years and moving to the Tri-Valley.
There have been mixed emotions from the students, but here's our very own Michael Curley with his own take on this issue.
The Bay State Conference. Many people call it one of the best public school conferences in Massachusetts. Norwood High School is one of the founding members of the conference, being a member for 60 years. This season may be their last, however. One of our biggest rivals, Dedham High School, made the switch from the Bay State Conference to the Tri-Valley League. This move was mainly based on school size and recent performance by Dedham. Norwood is now in a similar situation. Moving to the Tri-Valley League is the best choice for Norwood High School at this time. There are different factors that should play into this decision. The leading factor is our school size. According to the Norwood record, the current student enrollment at NHS is approximately 960 students, which is pretty much identical to the population from 30 years ago. All the other schools currently in the Bay State Conference have grown by at least 11% in the same span of time. This increase in school size opens up the pool for coaches to pick their teams from. NHS will become the third largest school in the Tri-Valley League, which would be an advantage over the disadvantage they currently face in the Bay State Conference. This change in school size is one of the main reasons which shows that this move is a good idea. Another factor that should play into this decision is the recent performance shown by Norwood in the Bay State Conference. So far this year, according to the Norwood record, NHS sports have gone 31, 84, and 6 overall, with only 2 teams posting winning records this fall. This is a .204 winning percentage for all fall sports. And even though teams still make the tournament, some have losing records overall. Postseason appearances are always good, but in order to be viewed as a legit athletics program, success will be measured on wins as well. Lastly, it is shown through our rival Dedham High School that this move to a more even conference would benefit the records of our teams. Dedham football, for example, only had 2 wins last year in the Bay State Conference. This year in the Tri-Valley, they finished 6-5. Other sports have had better records than last year as well. Norwood High School has also had success against out-of-team conferences in the past. The boys hockey team last year beat Mansfield once and tied them once. Many other teams at NHS have had more success out of the Bay State Conference than they do in it. This success outside of our conference shows that we can compete more evenly with teams that are in different conferences, and that moving to the Tri-Valley League will bring us more success. To conclude, this move from our longtime conference is a smart move for Norwood High School right now. Is this move perfect? No. The Tri-Valley may not be as strong as the Bay State Conference, but it is still a good conference, with Hawkinton being the reigning Division II state champions in fall golf, for example. The Tri-Valley is still a respected conference, and even though it is not as strong as the Bay State, it'll be more evenly matched for Norwood sports, and we will be able to find more success in the near future. Reporting for Ustane Sports Blog, I'm Michael Curley.
That's a wrap.
Thanks for that commentary, Michael. For more sports commentaries, game highlights, and athlete features, be sure to check out our brand new Ustangs.com, dedicated solely to Mustang athletics.
Next up, we have a story about a popular skating pond known to locals as Froggies. Recently, I caught up with some of the regulars with help from staff reporter Mark Dunn.
If you live in Norwood, you might have heard of Froggies Pond.
Well, Froggies has been filled for skating even before I was born, which was 1960. That's why Public Works spends the time we do down there investing in the water. I mean, we're putting close to 1 million gallons of water in there to fill it up. So that's an investment the town has made.
To take care of this pond, Mark Ryan says a lot of work goes into it.
You know, when there's a lot of ice shavings on the ice, you know, after use, we send the brooms out and broom it off. We use the snow blowers if there's, you know, a couple of inches of snow on there. This time we elected to put a DPW personnel out there to plow the snow with a small snow blower the entire storm. So once the storm was over, we didn't have that 15 inches to try to plow off.
And according to Ryan, personnel at the DPW believe that after the job is done, it's all worth it.
After they finish driving by and seeing everyone out there skating and having a great time and having a little fire pit there and seeing young kids, older kids, adults, it's worth all the effort.
Local skaters Andreas Thaxter and Jared Connell make sure the effort goes to good use.
I like coming to Froggies. It's just a great time, you know. The environment's beautiful. The scent of puck just gets me going. Me and my buddies just come here and play hockey. I mean, yeah, it's a good time. The boys come down, play some pond puck, get it going. I'm always here, I'll tell you that much.
Connell and Thaxter say they enjoy the atmosphere at Froggies.
You ask anyone for a game, they'll play you. It's just the spirit's amazing. We're just playing puck. I mean, it's the greatest time of the season. Not even cold out. Like, you know what I mean? Get your hats and gloves. You're ready to play hockey. No one's getting bored. Stay here for hours.
I like coming here because, like, you don't have to play with one person. It's just whoever shows up,
Game on.
Ryan says taking care of froggies now brings back memories of when he was younger.
I love it. I love skating outside. It's a great winter activity. I, as a skater, growing up skating on ponds, know how much of a thrill it is to be outside skating, and you know, these past couple of weeks, just seeing everyone out there shows the community really appreciates it.
With winter in full swing, Ryan says there's no need to stay inside.
I think it means, what are we going to do today? You know, if you know, winter limits how much you can do, it just gives them another opportunity to go out and, you know, get off the iPad and get off the iPhone and go out and be with their friends and socialize and get some exercise and just enjoy winter and the benefits of being able to skate outside.
So, grab your skates, lace up, and experience the Norwood tradition. Reporting for Mustang Magazine, I'm Mark Dunn.
Froggy's Pond is just one of the many places to get ice time in the area.
Many NHS students enjoy being in a pair of skates, and not just for hockey. In our next story, we meet a local figure skater who spends her time passing the craft on to the next generation. Sophomore reporter Nicole Catalano brings us the story from a Boston skating rink.
If you've ever been to the Skating Club of Boston, then you've probably noticed Aislinn Monk and her skate shop.
I do skate fittings, sharpenings, costumes, etc.
Monk has been skating since she was a little girl back in Montana. She came to Boston after a 6-year gig with Disney on Ice, where she played characters from Sleeping Beauty to Alice in Wonderland.
So Disney on Ice was my first real step out of Montana. I came from a very small community. I've been to 20-some countries, and it was just an eye-opener to how big the world is. From a skating aspect, it was also wonderful. I was doing the thing I love most.
After retiring from Disney on Ice and then working at a Connecticut-based ice skating retail, Monk decided to buy her own store. Located inside the Skating Club of Boston, she named her shop Home Ice.
So the two main things I do here are sharpening skates and mounting the blade to boots. My goal is that I don't ever want a customer to come in and just feel like I'm looking to swipe their credit card and send them on their way. I like to develop an ongoing relationship, not just for business purposes, but also because I love skating, and I genuinely like to see how people are doing.
Monk says she loves running Home Ice, and she adds that the daily grind does not bother her.
I'm always happy to be here. There are days where I have to do a lot of sharpenings in a row. Sometimes I'll sharpen 30 pairs in a day.
Monk says sometimes she needs to redesign a boot or blade in order to meet the needs of different skaters.
There's a really great program here called Skate Therapy for kids who have different physical, cognitive, and emotional needs. And so a lot of them have ankle braces. A lot of what we do is trying to customize around people's specific needs.
Home Ice has been open for about a year now, and Monk says she's come a long way since that first day she opened the doors. Her first employee brought her a gift that day.
She gave me this little cup with flowers in it. It said, "Best day ever." And it just kind of set the tone. Then I thought, it's scary, but everything in life that's worthwhile is scary at first. And so I love looking at that cup.
But business aside, Monk says the real reason she chose to open Home Ice is to be close to the next generation of skaters.
Part of my job is, helping introduce the next generation of skating, the little itty-bitty 5-year-olds that lace up their first pair of skates. That's what I live for. Or even, my older skaters who are competing and just seeing them progress and develop a better relationship with skating. It's one of the best feelings in the world.
So if you're new to skating or a seasoned veteran who needs a sharpening, stop by to see Aislinn Monk at the Home Ice Skate Shop. Reporting for Mustang Magazine, I'm Nicole Catalano.
Thanks, Nicole. Now it's time to meet a Norwood resident who's got a special talent for training animals.
Julie Salvaggio introduces us to a local dog trainer.
House. Good girl. Sit.
During the day, Kate Fluke is a teacher, and she also has a passion for training dogs back to their roots.
This is Brutus. Brutus is a border terrier. We do earth dog trials and barn hunts where they have rats in cages and they work the rats to show their instincts. This is Jaeger. Jaeger is a black American field lab. With Jaeger, I do dock diving, which they run down a 40-foot dock and see how far they can jump.
To train her dogs, Kate uses positive reinforcement.
If they do something that I want them to do, a behavior, then they're either given a treat or the lab will be given her ball or something that they want to work for.
To keep training up, the dogs exercise every day.
And for exercise, their walks 2 miles every morning before I go to work, and then their exercise in the evening, which helps them stay calm throughout the day so they don't destroy my house.
It's not all physical activity that Fluke does to keep the dogs healthy. She says it's all in what they eat.
They eat nothing but raw meat and raw bones and raw innards, and their health has been way better than any dog I've ever seen fed kibble. If you're consistent and you are fair, then any dog can be trained, old, young, whatever breed.
Reporting for Mustang Magazine, I'm Julie Savaggio.
Thanks, Julie. Next, we go back to school for a story about homeroom.
Homeroom was a new addition to the student schedule this year, happening every Tuesday morning.
Administrators and guidance counselors say it's to help promote civil discourse and to provide students and teachers with more opportunities to connect.
Junior reporters Myra Hines and Emily Jerhan caught up with a few of them to see what they thought about the new policy.
New this year to Norwood High School, the school administration has added a homeroom period every Tuesday.
Homeroom is a 10-minute period of time on Tuesday mornings from 7:45 to 7:55 where teachers have a certain amount of students from one grade where they discuss daily activities that are coming up or any plans that are in the future.
It is basically just smaller groups of students that are arranged alphabetically. It's good to have a smaller group that feels a little bit more comfortable talking in that setting as opposed to in a larger class setting.
It fosters a sense of community and relationships between teachers and students that maybe wouldn't be there otherwise.
Yeah, like I barely knew any of these kids like when I first showed up, so like this gives me an opportunity to make a lot of new friends and stuff.
Homerooms can be used as a free period for teachers to collaborate with students in any way they want, and it can be served as a platform for life skills.
We've done a bunch of different activities. We've done different things, quotes that are positive. We kind of drew hands and then wrote a positive quote on the hand. We did a respect acrostic poem, and where we worked kind of collaboratively to come up with all different words that would match up with the letters of respect.
What makes homeroom different this year than past years is how conversations are now based off of civil discourse rather than just announcements.
I get to have some great conversations about civil discourse, and I get to learn a lot about my classmates and homeroom teacher. It's a lot of fun.
Civil discourse is just, being able to engage in a conversation respectively and just actively listening to one another.
These are important life skills to have. They're also important for students to kind of be explicitly taught these skills, as some of them may go a whole day or a whole school year without kind of learning how to have conversations with peers, especially with students being so engrossed in social media and technology these days.
And students and teachers have really seemed to enjoy the environment homeroom creates.
No, I think it's a great time to relax in the morning.
I think it is a good idea. I think it's definitely helpful to have the students have somewhere to come to not have, I have to have this done for school today in this class. It's kind of a separate setting, and I think it's a good thing. My homeroom, I really enjoy all the students in my homeroom. They have, are very engaged within all the activities that we do, and so I think it's been working for the most part.
And only time will tell how well homeroom will build these life skills, but it seems to be off to a good start. Reporting for Mustang Magazine, I'm Myra Hines.
The whole time? No.
Thanks, girls. Homeroom wasn't the only thing administrators added to the schedule this year.
Starting with the class of 2019, students will be able to cash in community service hours in exchange for course credit. Julia Higgins and Taylor Sypek report.
Guidance counselor Kristen McDonald talks about the new program the school offers regarding gaining extra credit points towards graduation.
Credit is actually linked to your transcript. So anytime you do anything that earns usually like something academic, like your classes, like we're trying to add the community service piece, it gets linked up with your transcript and it meets certain general requirements that you're going to need for graduation.
Aside from graduation, credits are also necessary for college transcripts.
So usually it's by taking classes. So we have 5 credit courses. So for every class you take, you get 5 credits if you meet the requirements throughout the year. And then that can mean upwards of 30 per year. And then it eventually will lead to that 100 plus that you're going to need for graduation requirements.
Most importantly, this program isn't offered to help boost students academically, but with the high hopes that students will give back to their community.
Yeah, so it's a new community service initiative. You know, typically there are a lot of high schools that actually require it as a graduation requirement without giving any credit to it. They just want you to get out there and help your community and give back. We're giving credit so that we can expose students to the actual piece of volunteering. So it'll hopefully encourage more students to do it, and then by doing that, they'll see, you know, or gain a love for it that they'll want to continue to give back as they go along.
Knowing our community needed volunteers and some students needed the credits, it wasn't entirely difficult for someone to be able to combine the two together.
Mr. Bourne had come up with it over the summer, and we had a few students that needed a credit for remediation purposes. They were trying to become seniors and they needed 1 or 2 additional credits. And he got creative and kind of threw this out there as an idea for them to volunteer at a place over the summer to be able to gain those 1 or 2 credits that were needed. And then guidance kind of jumped in this year and grabbed onto it in terms of something that we could hopefully do school-wide.
While Norwood High offers this as optional, some schools in our area require service hours to graduate. Yet there is high hopes in the guidance department that students will enjoy giving back to their community and won't mind doing it as a requirement.
I think it's a great connection between school and community. You know, I think it'll really expose students to the benefits of just volunteering. You always, whenever you have a purpose like that, you just feel good about yourself. You know, you never leave a volunteer activity not feeling good, you know, and I think that's what we're really trying to expose students to.
As amazing as this program is, students should not worry about getting enough credits. Most kids who take all assigned classes are just fine when it comes to graduation requirements.
We occasionally have a senior or junior who's short 1 or 2 credits to be able to become or be promoted to that next grade. Usually, most students are fine credit situation-wise. The key about giving a credit is that it goes on their transcript. So like I said, the transcript and the credit are connected. So if we give a credit for community service, it will go on their transcript and then allow colleges to be able to see that, college admissions, which I think will help enhance that transcript.
Keep up in your classes and start volunteering. Hard work will not go unnoticed. Reporting for NHS Update, I'm Julie Higgins.
The show's almost over, but before we go, we have a brand new segment aimed at reviewing all the latest movies teenagers are seeing. Juniors Tim Rose, Xavier Collin, and Robert Bussier.
Hello everyone and welcome to the second Mustang Movie Minute. I know, right? I can't believe they let me make another one either. Anyways, I'm Tim Rose, and today I'm going to be discussing the latest and greatest box office success, Star Wars: The Last Jedi. So, let's start off with everything great about this movie, such as the performances given by the actors. Now, my favorite character in this film was definitely the main villain, Kylo Ren. Adam Driver has taken this role and created something truly unique that we've never really seen in the Star Wars universe before. This movie really showcased Driver's talent on screen, and the script was able to develop his character into a more powerful, yet more sympathetic person than we saw in the last movie. And Daisy Ridley also did a fantastic job as Rey, the new heroine of the Star Wars films who has become a fan favorite. Along with the performances given by the cast, I also really enjoyed the plot of the film. While the pacing was occasionally rocky, the overall ideas and separate storylines that all eventually intertwined made for an enjoyable movie. And I just have to admire the boldness of director Rian Johnson. Despite having one of the most important and nerve-wracking jobs in Hollywood, which was to make a successful new Star Wars movie, he managed to give the audience a fresh take on the Star Wars universe that had something for everyone to enjoy. Now, this movie was not perfect, by any means. There were many moments throughout the film that just felt out of place compared to the rest of the story, and the movie definitely could have used without them. One particular moment had me shaking my head in disbelief and wondering how, while the idea, while very satisfying in retrospect, could have been executed so poorly. If you've seen the movie, then you know what I'm talking about. And I have to tell you, I agree with the haters regarding the constant punchlines and comic relief moments that were peppered throughout the movie. It had some really interesting, intense moments that could have been huge wins for this film, but the cheesy jokes just really cut that tension like a knife. Now, in case you didn't know, this movie split the Star Wars fan base into two groups. One that loved the movie and one that absolutely hated it because they felt it didn't function properly as a Star Wars film. But as Kylo Ren once stated, let the past die. I think people need to realize that the films that they grew up with aren't the only things that they're allowed to enjoy, and that just because this movie tries taking a new and derivative route for Star Wars doesn't mean that it can't be appreciated for what it is. Reviewing for Mustang Magazine, I'm Tim Rose.
Thanks, guys. It shouldn't be long now before we can enjoy The Last Jedi on DVD and digital.
Well, that brings us to the end of this episode of Mustang Magazine. We hope you enjoyed the show.
For more stories like these, be sure to check us out online at www.mustang.media or hit us up on social media. We'll see you next time. Thanks, Nicole. Now it's time to meet a Nord resident who's got a special talent for training animals.
Julie Saval... Well, how do you say
Salvaggio.
that? Oh, it looked like saliva. Episode of Mustang Movie Minute.
This month, they critic the latest Star Wars film,
Come on,
The Last Jedi.
Last
Jedi.
Yeah, we're gonna have to redo that.
Stop!
And into my ear going. For that commentary, Michael. For more sports commentaries, game highlights, and athlete features, be sure to check out our brand new ustangs.com, dedicated solely to Mustang athletics.
Next up, we have a oh my god.
It's okay.